Hello, my name is Brandon Dryman. I'm a captain with the Indianapolis Fire Department where I serve as the coordinator of firefighter wellness and support. I also serve as a peer support master instructor with the International Association of Firefighters, and I will be presenting at FDIC 2020 a presentation entitled Saving Us from Ourselves. And in this presentation, I will be discussing with the audience topics of behavioral health awareness, self-care, and peer support in the fire service. This is an all-audience presentation. There's no need for any prior behavioral health experience to come and participate in the presentation. However, I think there's going to be plenty to offer all ranges of experience in firefighter behavioral health, whether this is your first presentation or maybe you've worked in peer support or perhaps critical incident stress management before. We will have something in this presentation for everyone. We're going to start off by talking about some particular behavioral health issues like alcohol use disorder, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder. And the goal is to give all the participants some concrete information that they can take home, that they can walk out of there the day of the presentation and start using. I don't want it to be real clinical. We'll talk about some signs and symptoms throughout the presentation. However, the goal is not to go through and just learn signs and symptoms. That's something we can all do on our own. But I want us to have a discussion about what can we walk out of there, what do we need to know today, and what can we start to put into practice today about these various topics. So that's goal number one. Next, we're going to move on to a discussion of suicide in the fire service. We often hear the labels like suicide epidemic, suicide crisis. Is that what's happening? We're going to take a look at some studies that have been done that may challenge some common notions about exactly what's going on with firefighter suicide and the suicide rate. And really, do we know what we think we know about firefighter suicide? And I think the discussion is interesting. The fact that any firefighter suicides are happening at all is too many. But let's get into the numbers. Let's see what we do and don't know and have an honest and a frank discussion about that. And then maybe from there we can start gathering better data. But until we have discussions about what we do and don't know, that becomes very difficult. So that's the second part of this presentation. The third part, we're going to talk about firefighter self-care. We neglect ourselves a lot. We are busy doing everything we can to take care of other people, and we put our own vulnerabilities and our own issues on the shelf. We ignore them, or we self-medicate with alcohol, things like that to try and get through them. And it's just not a positive way to cope. So we're going to talk about 6 things that we can do as firefighters to improve our self-care. Very straightforward. Again, things that we can utilize the day of that presentation. What can we walk out of there and use? And hopefully these 6 steps will be very beneficial in getting that done. The last thing, we're going to talk about peer support. What is peer support, right? We're going to define it. What does that mean? We hear the term peer support used not just in the fire service, but it's used in behavioral health communities, recovery communities throughout the world. Does it mean different things in different communities? And it does. But we're going to talk about what peer support means in the fire service. What is it? How does it work? We're going to talk about 5 ways that peer support programs can engage with firefighters. Specifically, we're going to talk about the 5 things that we do with the Indianapolis Fire Department with our peer support program. We're fortunate to have a very progressive program with a very progressive chief who has allowed us to expand and develop the way we serve our brother and sister firefighters. So we're going to talk about those things that we do in Indianapolis that have led to the successes of our programs. We're really going to focus on the benefits of being proactive and peer support and being proactive, not just reactive. So we're going to get into all that. I hope to see you there. This is a new class for FDIC 2020. So please come out, join me, join the discussion. There's something for everybody, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you very much.